a race!
Follow the big blue line. Follow the big blue line.
Okay, oh, there it
Under
is.
the tunnel and round the bend. Follow the big blue line.
Whoa!
Why?
Where are we? There's palm trees.
Uh-huh.
There's quote-unquote preferred parking.
Orlando, Orlando, I love you, Orlando.
Except we're in Tampa.
Except we're in Tampa.
Yep, here we are. We're in Tampa. At Busch Gardens, of course.
Oh, obviously.
As you do.
So, we did what we always do. We came out here last evening to get an idea of the lay of the park, which was a good idea.
Yeah, good lord.
This park is big.
It's giant.
And it interweaves a lot.
Yeah.
So,
and there's animals.
and there's lots of animals.
And there's a gorilla that I just love. We'll have to show you her.
If you follow our Snapchat at Off the Tracks Rev, that's REV, you have seen this gorilla.
And he or she, I think it was a she.
It was a she.
Is my spirit animal. Now, I know that's a phrase that's overused a lot. However, I love her.
This gorilla was lying in the grass with one leg up on top of the other knee, hands back like
she was
this.
just lounging.
and
she gave zero fucks that anybody was looking at her.
She didn't care.
There were like, I don't know, 10 people in the little enclosure where you can go look at them.
You want to know how I know this was a female? I mean, we were looking right down Broadway, but
well, that's true.
she didn't care. So,
what just happened? Oh, sorry. My podcast just started.
That's
on the
Hello
car.
from the Magic Tavern, which we're both enjoying.
Yes.
So if you have not checked it out, check it out.
Yeah.
So we are here. Today is Wednesday, and for everyone who hasn't seen it on our social media already,
ding!
Check out this silicone bling.
Yeah.
These are our roller coaster riding rings.
Yeah, but we got married on Saturday.
And I
Imagine
couldn't be
that.
happier.
Guys, I threw up on him on our wedding night.
I mean, I wasn't gonna say anything.
Well, in the interest of full disclosure. Anyways.
Well, I mean, you know, since she said something, part of the reason why I think this gorilla was really her spirit animal is was lying down in the grass. I assume after drinking too much beer at the after party.
No, it was vodka that I had. Liquor sneaks up on you.
It sure did.
Yeah, so anyways,
that's what happened.
Yeah, that's our story. Happily ever after.
That's our story, and
full
it's
of bodily
sticking
fluid. Anyways, so we're here. We rode pretty much everything we wanted to ride last night.
Yeah, we did not ride Sand Serpent, and we did not ride Scorpion, and we did not ride
Falcon's Fury.
We did not ride Falcon's Fury.
He's very scared.
I'm very nervous about this.
We just ate breakfast, so that's probably not the...
a POV of Falcon's Fury, or even seen off-ride footage of Falcon's Fury,
or their media day coverage.
You know what? Either way, it doesn't really matter, because I'll tell you what happens on Falcon's Fury. It's 330 feet tall. I think that's the proper stat. It lifts you like any other drop tower, which you already know I don't like. And then, when you get to the top, you know, on Acrophobia down in Atlanta, your seat, it's not really a seat, it's sort of a dangly banana seat kind of thing up down there, but it tilts you out like this. I think it's 10 or 15 degrees. It goes up at the top so that you're staring at the ground. Well, this is a different game. Intamin, who designed this, right? I'm pretty sure.
I think so.
So if this is your feet and this is your head, when you get to the top of Falcon's Fury, the ride does this, so that you are literally not staring at the ground. Not just staring at the ground, but completely dependent upon the restraints to hold you in. And I stood there and I watched this thing yesterday, y'all, and I am not kidding. This is not a joke. I think that you were hanging there for like 10 seconds. It's a long time.
Yeah, it's something.
I don't know what I'm gonna do. I probably won't say anything.
No, you're gonna curse a lot.
You know what's gonna
probably.
happen? What's gonna happen is I'm gonna pull the old. I'm gonna pull the old. Oh damn it! What's the ride at Hershey Park? Sky Rush.
Yeah.
The old Sky Rush trick. And clamp my legs up under the seat.
God.
Like that's gonna save me.
God, I hated that.
I did have almost one saving grace, I will say. And that saving grace was I'm fat, and so I was like, maybe I just won't fit in the seat. I got in the test seat, and out of every ride here,
He's talking about Falcon's Fury.
Falcon's Fury is the most generous towards the fatties.
Yeah.
No issue at all. In the test seat, which generally, in my experience, is a little bit tighter than the actual seats themselves. So.
Anyway, also, while we're here, I'm hoping you guys are still in focus. I can't really tell. We have really cool matching shirts.
Oh yeah, look at us.
That Robert bought us. They say wood plus steel equals RMC. Isn't that sweet?
So everyone will spot us as jerks as we walk around the park.
And then we can go stand by Gwazi and start some rumors.
Oh, that's a great idea. Oh, we should totally do that. Well, speaking of which, I don't know if we'll talk to any park members here or not, but maybe we poke somebody and see if there's any truth to them redoing.
We have an insider.
Here?
Yeah.
Oh.
Duh.
We're gonna bleep out that name.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Let's go inside.
Okay, goodbye.
Well, I just recorded like 10 minutes of footage without
you didn't push the record button.
pressing the record button. So, if you park in preferred parking here, get prepared to do just a little bit of walking through the handicap section, which is, I don't know, 5 or 6 rows.
It's not, yeah,
it's not that
it's not
far.
too bad. It reminds me, and I said this yesterday when we came here for the first time, it reminds me of the Dollywood parking lots, in that it's like one continuous parking lot, and there's a very extensive handicap section, so you're gonna have to walk through that.
Yeah, that's a good way to describe it. If you've been to Dollywood, it's a lot like that parking lot. So
except there's no fun names. It's just the alphabet.
D and E are not described as Dolly's earrings here. Over here, you can see that there's an old gate, the Nairobi gate, that is not in service, at least right now. But if you don't park in preferred and you take the tram, it drops you literally right here. So you're walking straight on into the park here.
Kind of the same setup as Busch Gardens Williamsburg, in that they have the kiosks and everything. And beyond the ticketing booth, they have metal detectors here. So
I think everyone in the world knows this, but as you mentioned in the now lost to space and time video I was recording a moment ago, Busch Gardens Tampa is themed to Africa, whereas Busch Gardens Williamsburg is themed to Europe.
Africa and Asia, because there's Indian stuff.
Correct, yes, that's true.
So, yeah, and they have animals. So it's kind of like zoo/theme park, which I'm a-okay with. Because, we talked about the gorilla already, so I won't bother you.
However, we are probably going to do 2 different vlogs.
Yeah. We're going to do one for the rides, and then we're going to do one for the animals, so we don't need like 20 hours of footage. To steal a phrase from the Wolf Pit, we do this for you the people. Yeah.
And we know that you would prefer the vlogs to be a little bit shorter than they have been in the past, so that's what we're going to do.
Yep. Okay.
You ready?
Let's go in.
It is dead quiet over here in this now defunct section of the park. You can see the standing but not operating. Caitlin is assigned to Snapchatting right now while I'm vlogging. Oh, you look very superhero-y. That's right.
Okay.
So here is what I do believe was the old entrance to Gwazi. You can see lift hill number 1 here and lift hill number 2 just there. And we decided if you follow.
Was it racing?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah. And which is why if the rumors are true, it'll be probably pretty awesome. Something along the lines of Twisted Colossus awesome. And boy, don't we know that they could use to revitalize this section of the park? Because
it's kind of.
So those people walk by over there. There's a couple of people walking by over here, but other than that, I mean, now granted, we were in the main entrance earlier, which is a bottleneck, of course, but
also the park it's been open for about an hour at this point.
Yeah.
So I imagine as the day goes on, there will be more people coming in.
Sure. But all quiet on the Gwazi front, and it will be until further notice. If you come around when you enter the park and go to the left, you'll come back towards where Gwazi was because of its standing but not operating status. The first actual roller coaster, other than the kiddie coaster that you'll come to, is SheiKra. And it took us forever to find it yesterday. But that's because we came the long way.
We went the long way, we got lost.
Yeah. So, oh God, you can see Falcon Sphere going up in the background. Ugh. Well, SheiKra over here was the first dive coaster in the United States. It's the one of only 3. And as of yesterday, we have ridden all 3. So we're gonna get a little bit.
As number 2.
Yeah, we're gonna get a little bit closer so you can get some footage. So we get some footage of it in action. One thing about this park, I will say, Caitlin agreed with me yesterday. You can see a lot of the rides. By which I mean you can see more of the rides, the actual rides themselves, than you can in other parks, especially like Busch Gardens,
Yeah,
where they kind of tuck them away.
Yeah, they tuck them away, and it's a little more hilly, so you know, they use the topography to.
And it's the same with like Dollywood.
Yeah.
And other parks that I've been to, like you can see the entrance of the rides, you can see the main hill, but then a lot of the ride is hidden.
Yeah.
With intent, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But here,
like,
they can't really do that.
Yeah. Oh.
She's gonna come around over here, and a word to the wise. If you come and stand beside the splash pool at SheiKra,
Yeah,
you're gonna get wet. So she's gonna come down over here, up and out. Woo! And the splash zone is over here. Whoop!
Right onto the sidewalk.
All right, we're gonna get a little closer. As you approach this sort of midway here at SheiKra, sorry the camera's shaking, I'm trying to get over here. You get a great view of almost the entirety of the ride. So there's a train about to come down. So they hang you there for a moment, and of course down you go, up into this Immelman loop here. And after this, you're going to experience a really great
there's
high velocity, high gravity turn
after
around.
this second drop, there's not another Immelman. You're just going into a turn.
Yeah, so you're actually heading down into this
Well, you're gonna get
tunnel here first.
Don't get wet.
Yeah. Up and around. And here comes the water. Woo. Where the ride goes back into another turnaround.
Getting some mist.
Getting a little mist over here, that's nice. And into the brake station.
Yeah, so there's only one Immelman, but the rest of it's really good. We really liked it.
Yeah, I would say, I'm making sure I'm recording. That's that first thing.
Yeah.
I think that we both agree that, first of all, the high-speed turnarounds on this give you a lot of really great G's.
Yeah. We rode in the front too, so I'm not sure.
That's true.
Yeah.
And these trains only have 8 seats across, whereas Griffin has 10, but Valraven has 8.
Yeah.
These are the old restraints that are hard over-the-shoulder restraints, because this one was the first.
Yeah, this was built in what, 2000, I looked it up earlier, 2005, 2006?
I think somewhere around there.
2007.
Yeah.
And then of course Valraven opened, what, 2016?
Uh-huh.
So, there you go.
Yeah, as far as restraints is concerned, I give the crown to Valraven, definitely, because of those nice soft restraints. But
and it does have that 0G roll at the end of it,
which is fun.
Nice.
However, for my money, I got to put Valraven at 3rd.
Yeah,
It's got Griffin number 1, SheiKra here at number 2, and then Valraven at number 3. I think Valraven, a lot of people will say, takes the crown for the view, but I don't really know about that. Griffin's got a really great view of the James River.
Yeah, you can see the Ghost Fleet and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can see downtown Tampa from the top of this.
You can.
But
well, you were kind of crooked there, but other than that, you're in Florida, so you're looking at a Florida landscape, which is mostly flat.
Yeah.
Here they come once again.
And they're cranking them out. It's like 3 or 4 trains.
Put around the turn over here, and watch out for these kids. Caught that miss again, huh?
That was nice though.
It's nice.
Great. You wanna ride it?
Yeah, let's ride it. I think it's definitely worth a ride. All of the rides that we rode yesterday, I kind of think SheiKra was my favorite.
Yeah, I like SheiKra. I like Cheetah Hunt too.
I did like Cheetah Hunt. It's not very forceful, however, as we were talking about.
It's
a family ride. It's built as a family ride, and I think, frankly, it's an excellent family ride.
Oh, for sure.
So if you come out here and you look up, you see, you kind of get this panorama. Man, oh man. Let us talk about the difference between the front and the back on this ride.
It's true.
Holy cow. Like, yesterday,
we were on the front row in the end.
On the left side. Yeah, if you're looking out away from the train, the front left side. And we rode on the back left side. And the difference was amazing.
Yep.
First of all, there's way more forceful. There's, as I expected, there's way more butt out of seat time coming down off of those vertical drops.
But it's a good ride. It's fun.
Yeah, I'll tell you this, like, riding it in the back seat is, I mean, it's just, the force is just...
It's different. It's a different ride.
Yeah, totally different experience.
Yeah.
Worth your time, especially ours right now, because it was... We just walked straight up to it.
Yeah,
it was a walk on.
So they have screens several places.
Let's take a look at these. So they tell you what's going on. Park's closing at 6 o'clock today, but they actually...
More importantly, they have the weather. But even more importantly...
They have the wait times.
So right now, everything except Cheetah Hunt.
Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Yeah. I don't know if you noticed, but this is a dual load station.
Yes, I did notice that, but they were only loading one train at a time.
Loading one train. Same thing with Cheetah Hunt. That's a dual load station too. So.
I kind of wonder if Cheetah Hunt is the Verbolten of this park.
What it's looking like anyway, judging from this. So.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what. I don't know if we'll ride this again, but I definitely would. And I would recommend you come out here.
Give it your time.
Definitely.
It's good stuff.
Knock the energy right out of you.
Yep.
All right. Well. Look, there's two.
More wildlife. Oh,
That's
yep,
right.
two different kinds. One black one and one green.
Well.
All right.
Onward we go.
What?
This way. After SheiKra, we made our way back over here to the Garden Gate Cafe for some, oh yeah, looking good. Yeah, do it again. For some samples.
Yeah.
Should we be getting 2 samples of beer in here, right?
Yep.
All right. We made our way in for our free beer.
Yes.
Now, there are a couple things to remember. The first thing to remember is that you only get 2 samples per day. However,
but
at the same point,
they're pretty big.
They're 7 ounces.
Yeah.
Well,
Jeez.
so here it is up against my hand, as you can see.
Yeah.
And
but two 7 ounces equals a little more than a can of beer.
Yeah.
So there you go.
And secondly, and this is also important, the beers that you are permitted to sample are Bud Light and Corona.
But the announcement did say that they're going to rotate.
Oh, okay, that's good.
So they're doing this through August. So it says that the availability of the samples is going to vary.
That's handy.
Per day, I guess.
So I also want to say this. It's free.
I'm not going to be with you.
We literally walked up and said we'd like to get the samples.
Checked our IDs. They said, here you go.
And that's it.
Yep.
When I was in college, I used to throw parties at my house. And when I would throw parties at my house, everybody in the house would buy a 30-pack of Miller because it was the cheapest that was available to us. And people would come over and we'd go, okay, there's beer here. And then they'd go, oh, is that all you got? It's Miller? Don't complain about the free beer. It's free. And if you don't like it, guess what? You don't have to drink it.
You don't have to drink it.
You can give it
or
to Caitlin.
Or beer your own.
That's right. Bring your own.
Yeah, well, you can't do that here, but I'm just saying at parties in general.
But you can't get shit-faced in the parking lot. Right, my bride?
And then lay down on the grass.
Well, I wasn't making a reference to you.
Oh.
I was just confirming, but...
We were having a moment. Anyways.
All right, we're gonna enjoy our beers.
Yep.
Out here at the exit of the gorilla exhibit, you can get some really nice views of Cheetah Hunt, which should be coming along here at some point. We've been standing here for a couple of minutes.
Maybe that's why it's posted a 30-minute wait.
Maybe that's why. When everything else is 5 minutes today.
Yeah.
This ride has some... Well, here we go. There we go. So you go up into this
That's the first
coaster tree. Yeah. So you do an initial launch, a little turnaround, and then you go to a second launch, which takes you into this. And then here they come. Whoa! And off they go, up and around into a zero-G roll just over there. And then it goes into this very low portion where you sort of dip and
like
drive. Yeah, you're as a cheetah would be.
In a sense, it kind of reminds me of Maverick in that, you know, because Maverick has moments like that too, where you kind of feel like, hey, I'm on a horse, being a cowboy.
Yep, it's very
Cheetah
similar
Hunt's the same.
to that there.
Except it's more mild. It's not quite as intense as Maverick.
If you want to see a full POV of it, just type
Google
in.
it.
Yep, just type in YouTube, Cheetah Hunt POV, and you can see it. Caitlin's fooling with her.
I'm refining my my tool.
We're gonna go get some lunch.
Yeah.
We're gonna go over here to something that we didn't realize was here. This way. Through the overlook. Here's where that first launch goes, and just beyond here is where we are headed. To the Serengeti Overlook Pizza and Pub. Time for some lunch. Let's go inside and check it out.
Well, and we should mention that Busch Gardens Tampa now has a brew club.
Oh yes, we should mention that. That's right. So in the same way that we have the Stein Club, Busch Gardens Tampa has brought forward the Brew Club, which is music to my ears because that tells me that the Stein Club is not going anywhere, for at least for the time being.
Those Steins look awfully familiar.
Yes, they do, don't they?
Yep.
Why? They happen to look like last year's Steins up there. But that's okay. Hey, you know what? If they're offering good beers for people to come out here and keep the park going, bring in more money.
Yep, and the entrance to Cheetah Hunt is right over there.
And maybe RMC Gwazi.
Wood plus steel.
Wood plus steel equals RMC.
So we're gonna go into this.
Yeah. By the way, the entrance to Cheetah Hunt is right here, as you can see. Oh, you did? I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Posted a 25-minute wait. Meh.
Yeah, we might not ride it again today with a 25-minute wait. But then again, later on today, I mean, because we rode it towards the end of the day yesterday.
Yeah, we got here about 3:30, 4 o'clock yesterday.
With them closing at 6. Here we go. Anybody else getting Jurassic Park feels out of this?
Yeah, this place looks incredible. I mean, just the outside of the building looks really cool.
And I know it overlooks the plain, so we can probably see some animals from inside. Entering into the space here, we have a nice large dining area and their brew club. So let's go take a look inside. You can see that their list is a little bit limited here, but they do have some from a local brewery, Cigar City Lager is what we got, and then we got Funky Buddha Floridian Hefeweizen, which I'll show you in just a few minutes here. Some very nice cabinetry in here as well to house their steins, and a small, there we go, just out back here, which I do believe overlooks the plains this way. Oh, it overlooks Cobra's Curse. Heading down over here, and Montu, which is just over there. Nice. This is very exciting. Apparently, only opened 2 days ago. So we got a nice look, and we chatted with the bartender for a moment here, who was kind enough to let me film in here. Great looking spot. So I'll take you over here to where Caitlin is. Here's Caitlin. And our food here was brought to our table because they have some very fancy kiosks over here on the other side of the building. You can see them just across the way there. And they work just like Wawa kiosks. So I went up to it, I plugged in what I wanted, and the only difference between that and Wawa is that I swiped my card there. I didn't have to get in line at all. So Caitlin got a club sandwich.
These fries are good.
That's great. And then I got the chicken fingers. And there's Harambe hanging out with us.
I love him.
Ready to eat? Oh yeah. I might need more than one beer to get on Falcon's Fury. I'm not even kidding, I'm very nervous. So something to keep in mind is that with the craft room over here, on the other side, there is a full bar, and they have brews here, and they are the same price. And if you don't have the craft brew membership here, then it won't make any difference for you. The price is still the same. It's $9 for craft beer.
Did we say that there's only 12 taps in their craft beer?
I showed it, but I did actually say it out loud. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they only have 12 taps, so a little bit, well, a lot less than 18 less than the Brow House, but still a good selection.
Something that we have not noted as well is that you can come outside here and eat while looking at the Serengeti. So I'm just gonna step out here real quick. So you saw earlier there's Montu and there's Cobra's Curse. And out over here is where the lions and the giraffes, and you can kind of see there in the distance one of the safari cars going by. With the sun behind the clouds, it's actually really nice out here. Oh, you coming out? All right, well, we'll just have us sit here right next to these bugs that are getting it on. All right. Isn't nature beautiful? As soon as we sat down, Caitlin noticed.
There's giraffes.
There's giraffes. Yeah, you can definitely see them out over here.
And Harambe.
And and Harambe has joined us.
But at least
That's a nice street.
It's nice out here.
It really is. And you can watch the roller coasters go over here. It's
Oh, hello.
and look who's here.
I have a friend. Please go away.
Sorry, buddy, we don't have any food.
I have an orange. I don't want to kill it though.
Soaked in booze.
Orange for you.
Coming around the far side of the Serengeti overlook, you get over to where Cobra's Curse and Montu are. And you get this beautifully framed picture of Montu's Immelman loop right here for everyone to see as they walk up upon the place. And their newest attraction, Cobra's Curse, which has, as you can see, this elevator lift over here. Another family ride built and opened. It opened last year, didn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Cobra's Curse is heavily themed, and so we enjoyed the ride last time. So, how do you feel? You want to take a spin on it? A literal spin? Okay, so what happens in this ride is that you go forward in the ride, and then it turns you around, you go backward in the ride, and then it releases you, and then you're on a, not really a free spin, I guess. It's a controlled spin, but it's a free spin, right? So,
Yes.
I'm just saying, it's not wildly like spinning.
Harambe.
What do you think, Harambe? I like it. So, we're gonna walk you through the queue because the queue is very heavily themed. Cool. It looks really nice.
And it's got a snake in it, which I know a lot of people don't like, but
that's right.
You can avoid it if you want to.
Just kidding.
Never mind.
We're not going in there because it's not operating right now. I guess that would be the reason that we didn't see people riding earlier.
Well, there were. I don't know.
Anyways,
it's really cool though.
It is cool. The elevator lift takes you up, and then you go on this it is outward bank towards the Cobra's mouth over here, moving forward. And as you can see at this point, it's moving into free spin. This there. Really was a fun ride, and ended with the most intense spins right at the end, and then straightened you out pretty quick.
the loading station's really cool because it's kind of like a little conveyor belt, so the trains don't stop. You have to get on pretty quickly, but the platform moves too instead of just the trains.
Yeah. So if you are nervous about the spin on this or anything like that, I will tell you this.
Don't be.
Yeah. Caitlin doesn't much care for spinny either, and she was.
Look, the logo's up in the gear up top.
Oh, the Busch Gardens logo? Yep. And off it goes. Here comes another spin.
Yeah,
Lots of fun.
We were whipping around pretty good by the end there.
Yep. But as we said, it spins you a couple of good times around, and then it comes to a halt there.
It's like less than a minute of spinning.
Yeah.
Which I'm totally fine.
We're okay with. All right, we're gonna walk over here towards Montu and get some shots over here as well.
Basically right next door to each other.
They really are. Now Montu is and has been touted as one of the best, if not the best by some, B&M invert ever.
I like Open Guys better.
Well, I wonder if we can get some imagery of it over here. Yeah, good. Looks like there's plenty of space to sit on.
Yeah.
So the action on this one being you come down off the lift hill into the vertical loop, down through the tunnel, up through the Immelman lift, or Immelman hill, Immelman loop, God. Up into the inline twist over here. You'll go around back to the rear of the ride this way, where there's a bat wing element, meaning it flips upside down, goes under a tunnel, flip back upside down, and then back up the way that you came, up into this mid-course brake run here. And that's when you start diving through all of the Egyptian ruins, if you will. We'll get some shots of it here for you. Down up under us, into the Immelman. Whoa! Inline twist. And then back into the bat. I'm with Caitlin. I liked Alpengeist better. I like Banshee better than Alpengeist. So this one's not in my number 1 or number 2 spot here.
Yeah.
Now come over, I don't know if you can see, but coming down, so everything at the end of this is down much lower. So they're gonna come around here in just a moment. You can see how low to the ground it is over here. Down in through, and the next time that you will see them is through there, that corkscrew element, and then it loops around and the ride's pretty much finished.
Yeah, it's kind of like Alpengeist in the sense that you like go through the theme of the ride.
Oh yeah.
Like, because at the end of Alpengeist you go through like the snow and all that, so same thing.
And there's plenty to like about this ride. I'm not saying it's a bad ride at all.
Right.
But I think that what I really took away from this ride, because people can talk about the intensity. I didn't really get that.
It really lets up after that mid-course brake run, I would say.
So there's
like one moment where you're like, okay, we're almost done now.
Yep.
Because it's not as intense as it was.
So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get Caitlin to come and try and squeeze me into the front row and see if it'll work. It didn't work last time, but if it doesn't work, then she can ride in the front row.
Okay. I just ate, but that's all right.
Well,
you can hold her on, babe.
That's right. The entrance is just here, so you'll just head in this way. Yes, for 5 minutes. I mean, there were empty rows on it as some of the trains went by.
It's not a busy day here today.
Nah.
The longest wait we've seen posted is 30 minutes.
Very quickly, second ride on Montu was much better than the first.
Like that.
We were in the middle of the train on the first ride. We were in the second row. We did not ride in the front row, but we did ride the second row for the second ride. a lot more intensity, but Kayla is right. After that mid-course brake run.
Yeah, you just kind of float there, kind of until the last barrel roll, and then that's when you kind of float back into the station too.
Yeah.
So it's, yeah, you can feel it.
I appreciate that there's a bat wing on this thing. I really like those, but other than that, it's still not going to beat Banshee or Alpengeist in my book.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on that?
I agree. I think it's good. I would maybe number 3.
Yeah. I mean, is it better than Afterburn? I think they're about the same level. So if you really love Afterburn, then I think you'll really love this.
There's a lot of people that really love Afterburn, and I just do not get it.
Yeah, I'm the same.
So.
But then again, that's why we're a wonderful match.
And differences make the world go round.
That's right. Your opinion is valid. You're just wrong. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to whoever's sitting there talking about Montu being number 1.
People on it.
Yeah, so we're
gonna go back and try to show you the queue. Hopefully, don't get busted for filming.
Yeah, I'm gonna put this away so you can see the sign. It's right here. So there's the entryway just there, and you got all this.
I'm gonna give you all a pro tip. Archaeology does not look like this.
But it says archaeological excavation site. Egyptians worship the Snake King, but who? We're gonna have to replace the battery here. All right, battery died, but that's okay. Pick it up here. Oh, it's very cool in here too. All right, now it's about to get dark. So there's some extra queuing spots, field reports, and all that over here.
This is where the snake is.
Big snake.
Like, I think an actual animal snake.
Is it really?
I don't know, I could be wrong.
Oh. That's very scary.
It's really dark.
It's very dark in
This
here.
would be a great smokehouse.
Although I have to say, if it was a really hot Florida summer day and I was in this queue, I would not be upset about it. Here we go. Getting into the now well-known hologram room. So I don't know how well you can see these walls, but when you turn this way, now when they first opened, if I'm not mistaken, it would move around and talk. Yeah. And here we are. Just through this spot over here is where the loading station is, so not much else to see. Made it out of the opening, and you can see that's Binzies. Moving sidewalks along with, just like being at the airport. Almost our turn. Wow, and with the spins.
That was fun.
That was fun. I really enjoyed that the second time around again.
We had, the first time we both rode, we were by ourselves in the car, and the second time we had 2 significantly lighter teenagers behind us.
But there were people there.
Yeah, and we spun a lot more this time. Yeah.
That was great.
Yeah, it was good.
Really good, really great family ride.
Yeah.
I can only assume that if I love it, the kids will love it.
Yeah,
So,
no, it was fun. It's fun.
And this archway right here is lots of fun. So we spun to where we were in the front of the second car, but we spun up to where we were facing straight up at the top of that arch, and it was great.
Yeah. So.
Yeah.
That was good.
Good fun.
Yeah, I like it better. You know, it's like with every coaster, you like it kind of better the second time you ride it.
I think so. I think the first time you're a bundle of nerves.
Yeah.
So as you exit out here, you'll come back through what appears to be an ancient Egyptian storage area.
That is really just a gift shop.
into the gift shop. Caitlin and I happened upon the little-known ancient Egyptian pharaoh, Robert Common. His likeness is seen just here. My great times like grandmother father. Well, we round-faced people, it can be sometimes difficult to tell.
especially in canopic jar form. I don't know what this is. It kind of looks like a little stage.
It does. I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
You know what it looks like?
What?
Looks like a food and wine festival stage.
Yeah, I think it's a food and wine festival stage because she's got a she's got a frying pan and spatula in their hand.
This must be where they did some of the Chef K shows.
Maybe.
Uh-huh.
Chef K's opening a restaurant.
Yes, she is. Good for her. We will go and pay it a visit, but not here in Tampa.
Nope.
We found this nice little underpass for Cheetah Hunt. Whoa! And around she goes. Neat. How's your ice chips?
Very good.
That's good. And the come right back around here in just a moment.
Kumba in the back.
Oh, yep. Oh, where'd she go? There we go. Go here.
Yep.
Up and over. Sweet, merciful Christmas. I don't know. Oh God, they're almost at the top.
There we go.
Oh, sweet Lord.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. There's no wait time. There's nobody on it either.
Why is there anybody on this thing?
Maybe it's broken. No, but I don't care.
Oh, there's something shown, is there?
No. Do you want to go on the Red Baron to get you?
Go on the Red Baron over here. The Busch flyers. Lord. I don't think it's open, but...
Well, there's a nice lady standing right at this gate here.
Okay.
If you want to go do something else, we can do something else.
No, we're gonna have to do it before we leave.
I support you.
You're very sweet.
Harambe supports you too.
Who wants to ride Falcon's Fury? Harambe does.
He's about the only one.
Oh, God.
It's down.
It's down. Well,
Officially down.
We'll have to come back to it. We're gonna have to ride it. We can't very well be here and not ride it. I'd never forgive myself.
Okay. Well,
Man.
there's 2 other things we haven't done.
That's right. We gotta go.
We haven't done Sand Serpent,
Uh-huh.
which I have ridden before.
Caitlin has ridden this
Despite
before.
not ever coming to Tampa, it used to be at Busch Gardens, Williamsburg, as Wild Mouse. So I've ridden that. And then we also haven't done Scorpion, which is a Schwarzkopf.
It's right there. And guess what's going up right behind you here? Look how slow it is. Why is it so slow?
I don't think it's any slower than Mock Tower. It doesn't rotate.
Oh, God.
It doesn't rotate.
Yes, it does. It just rotates inward.
Well, but Mock clock tower seems faster because it's going like this.
I think it's a full 60 seconds to the top of this thing, if what I've heard is correct.
Okay.
Sweet Merciful Christmas. And then in they swing. Not yet, I guess.
And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah. It's about 10 seconds from it starting to swing inward to it's falling.
Threw it back at me a couple of times. I'm like,
Oh my god.
Well, let's go. Let's go do
Let's go.
something else.
Yeah, let's go. Well, let's go ride Wild.
Wild Mouse
Wild
slash
Izzy.
Sam Serpent slash Wild Izzy, but only for 1996.
So here's our question for you. Your input on this.
Yeah,
Is this a new credit for Caitlin? Even though she's ridden this ride,
but it was in Williamsburg when I rode
I'm
it.
just saying,
Yeah.
as you've ridden this ride, it was with these trains under a different name and a different location. What do you think? My vote,
Well, I've ridden it under 2 different names.
right. Well, I don't think a name change without a location change counts.
I agree. You get the asterisk, but you don't get.
But a huge part of a ride is its ambiance, right? And its surroundings. So, I don't know. I'm inclined to count it as one.
I mean, it's just, I can't remember if it's a Mac or a Mauer or whatever. It's a Wild Mouse.
It's a Wild Mouse.
Also, can we talk a minute that this ride is closed? They're looping Starship.
they're inverter ship.
Like, close, because it's got a wall.
It sure does, doesn't it? Continuing quality for future enjoyment. Okay.
Alright.
Well, let's go ride this Wild Mouse.
Okay.
That'll be fun. Oh, great.
Guess what's back up?
There's no sun here.
And people are getting on it.
You don't have to get on it.
Oh, no. I'm gonna get on. We get on the damn thing.
You don't have to.
No?
Do you want me to ride it first?
No, I don't. I'm gonna ride it with you. All right. Here we go.
Hold on, I gotta put on lipstick.
Leave a pretty corpse. That's what I always say. Oh, sweet merciful Christmas. Oh man. Oh, can't go on.
The seagull will do it.
Bad omen. All right.
Shut it down.
Here we go.
You still have my phone, don't you?
Yeah,
You shaking?
a little bit.
Okay. Proud of you.
You will forgive my shaky hands that are filming this right now. Okay, we did it.
We did it.
We got off of it.
We're alive.
We're fine. So here's a couple of things that will help you not to be as nervous as I would. First of all, I'm going to tell you this. It was not as bad as I thought it was going to be. I think that you'll probably agree with that.
Yep.
My ass didn't come out of the seat. Like
I was leaning hard against those restraints.
I mean,
but-
obviously you'll do that, but I was not, like, my butt was not out of my seat. Unlike the theme park review video where the guy shouts, "I'm out of my seat, I'm out of my seat."
Yeah.
I was not. Second of all, here's something that I took great comfort in once I figured out what happened. When we got down to the bottom, we couldn't undo our safety buckles, and the reason is because you can't undo them all until you undo them all.
Well, so when you first start going, we couldn't undo our buckles. But
Yeah.
that was because when you first start going, you tip back a little bit, but you have to tip all the way back forward before it will release.
Yeah, and it won't tip all the way back
then
forward until...
your restraints won't pop up until all the buckles are released.
Yeah, so
We found that out.
So
because
I
we were
hope that
stuck.
helps you out. Would I ride this again? I would ride it again. I would ride it again. I wouldn't ride it again this second, but I would ride it again.
It really wasn't that bad.
No.
Also, once you start tipping up at the top, you have about 10 seconds.
Yeah,
Ish.
it holds you for a solid 10 seconds there,
Yeah.
but Oh yeah, once your butt starts to swing out from under you,
If you count
if you
to
count
10
to 10 at a nice 1,000, 2,000 pace. We got to about 12 or 13.
Yeah, we did because we were counting fast. But if you count to 10, then it will drop you, and you swing out about halfway, about where the color changes on the tower.
Yeah.
So it's not so bad.
I think also what may be helpful for you to know is that these ride attendants probably see a lot of people freaking out an awful lot. And the reason I say that is because I was freaking out over there, and that woman was cool as a cucumber. She didn't even seem to take notice of the fact that I was very, very nervous.
Yeah. So
and I don't think,
you probably have like
I will say this, I have a pretty colorful and outward-going personality, and when I'm nervous, people tend to notice. But she didn't. So there you go, Falcon's Fury. We rode it.
we did it.
I don't know if we'll ride it again on this trip, but we rode it.
Yep.
Now let's go get one more credit, and it's a credit that we probably wouldn't have thought about getting if we didn't look at the roller coaster videos before we came here.
You're right.
We've got a Schwarzkopf, and it's right over here. Any of you Schwarzkopf fans? You Mindbender lovers? You Olympia looping coaster lovers? Here's one.
Super duper looper.
You super duper looper, you're absolutely right. You recognize this track here? Anyone who's played Roller Coaster Tycoon before? Here we go.
Oh.
Here's the sign for it. Here is, forgive the sun, Scorpion. Classic trains, classic look, and I bet it's classic forces too. But it's our last credit here.
Yeah, we haven't gone over to Kumba today.
Not today.
We did ride it last night.
Yeah, we should make note of that here real quick.
I feel no need to ride it again.
You don't need it?
No.
Okay. Kumba was fun. It was built. Yeah. Now, much like the traveling Schwarzkopfs, this one then now just goes into a series of helixes and turnarounds.
We were talking about Kumba.
I'm sorry, it came down. So, anyways, that's basically what it does for the rest of the ride there. Anyways, talking about Kumba. Kumba was the very early B&M sit-down roller coaster. It's so early, it's not a floorless, it's not a dive. It's not even like Apollo's. It's
not a clamshell. It's over the shoulder, floored.
Yep.
Seated coaster.
That's right. And we rode in the front in a Zen ride. We got a Zen ride together. It was just us, and we got to ride in the very back as well. It's got the rattle pretty good. It's bumpy.
Yeah, I hit my head a couple times, but nothing crazy.
Yeah, and it was fun. I would say I enjoyed the ride in the back more because you got some floater air in that first big loop.
Yeah.
If you want to take a look at what the ride looks like, just look up Kumba POV, and you'll find millions of them. So. But right now we're gonna ride.
Yeah, I feel no need to go back over there.
Yeah,
it's like over.
Yeah, the park is huge, and we're very tired.
Yeah.
So here's Scorpion. We're gonna ride that, and
that will be the we'll finish all the credits except for the Grover coaster.
That's right. So. That'll be our riding roundup.
Yep.
All right, let's do it. As you probably expect us to say, a nice, forceful, but enjoyable ride on the old Schwarzkopf, now known as Scorpion.
I thought some chick was gonna steal Harambe after it was over, and I was ready to tackle her.
So did this used to be on the fair circuit? You know?
Oh.
It just kind of strikes me as
I'll have to look it up.
It just strikes me as a traveling coaster. Anyways, we hope you enjoyed this walk through the rides here at Busch Gardens in Tampa, not Williamsburg. I always say Williamsburg. And we hope that you will come out here, and if you hear that sound, you know what it is. It's Falcon's Fury. So we hope that you come out here and that you will enjoy yourself. And even if you're scared of drop tower rides, ride Falcon's Fury. You'll be glad that you did. We'll offer some final thoughts on the car here, but any final thoughts about Scorpion?
No, it was fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it too.
It was a little dizzying at the end there, but
well, yeah,
I'm okay.
Lots of positive G-forces on those turns there. That's really what the forcefulness comes from. The loop, as usual, is pretty forceful, but afterwards,
that second helix is pretty.
Yeah.
Made me a little dizzy.
Yeah. I agree.
Yeah.
Well, I love you.
Too.
Thank you for helping me be brave and to rock Falcon's Fury.
Well, you're stuck with me forever now.
That's right.
So, there you
Well,
go.
hey, nobody else would rather be stuck with, except for all of our wonderful fans who can follow us by
Subscribing.
and liking and following us. Well, following us on Facebook, also Instagram, and be sure to follow us on Snapchat at Off the Tracks Rev. That's REV. Here she goes. Look at this.
Yeah.
Whoa! That's where it really got heavy.
Yeah.
Whoa!
There you go.
We hope you had fun. We did.
We did.
We'll
for
see you.
sure.
We'll see you at SeaWorld.
We'll see you in the car.
Oh, that's right. Bye.
Bye.
Just in case you thought Busch Gardens Williamsburg had the corner on ugly shirts. You will forgive us for being, or at least forgive me for being so negative about the style, but I just don't get it.
They just don't change.
Yeah.
I like this though.
However, these mugs are very nice, and these coasters are very nice.
We have 2 of the Busch Gardens Williamsburg ones, so we're gonna get some of these.
These things are a little more muted, a little more tasteful. Busch Gardens. I promise you, we do spend money when we go to these places.
Yeah, but only if we find stuff we really like, or we buy it.
So, there's some decent looking shirts around. So,
The ride-specific ones are,
the ride
Not
specific
so
ones are not
great.
so hot, but there's some other stuff. And this is just the shirt. This is just the shop that's right outside of Falcon's Fury
yeah.
here. The painted
this
camel,
is
I
the
think.
main Emporium one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I didn't see these last night. We went to the shop.
No,
up
I
at the
didn't see
gate.
them. I like them.
I like them too.
Yeah.
So.
If we see something we like, we'll bring it back on. If not, we'll see you in the car.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's going to do it for us on our adventure here at Busch Gardens Williamsburg. Every time. Busch Gardens Tampa here today. Can you tell that we're pretty tired? We don't normally do what we did today. We came out here, you know, shortly after opening.
Yeah, we got here around 10:30 or so.
And they're going to close here in about 30 minutes. So now, that was only 10:30 to about 5:30, but still, we normally don't do that, as you well know.
We normally stay a couple hours, leave, go eat lunch.
Mm-hmm.
But like I told Robert earlier, it's just such a hassle to get back out of the park.
The park is huge.
It's so big.
It really is huge. So be prepared for that when you come out here. Overall, my impressions are that this is a very nice park. It lives up more or less to Busch Gardens Williamsburg expectations. I think the only thing about this park that I would say is that they've got to figure out something to do with that Gwazi area.
Yeah.
It's just
There are a few
empty.
things that are just shuttered and kind of just sitting there. One thing we did not talk about is our beef with the photo key.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should be aware that if you come down here with a photo key that you purchased at Busch Gardens in Williamsburg, it
won't
will
work.
not work here. Which was very disappointing to me, considering that it's called photo key, and it's you buy photo key and they say unlimited photos for a year.
But they don't say only
and
that park.
I am confident that I asked when we bought it last year and this year if it would work at other Busch parks.
The Cedar Fair photo key works at any place. Well, their equivalent of photo key, which is Fun Picks, works at any Cedar Fair park that has Fun Picks. Not all of them have it, but it will work at all of the ones that do.
So
it's
that was a little annoying.
Yeah. I will say that one nice feature, one noticeable difference in this park that I noticed is they do have cubbies in the ride stations.
That's right.
And I think that's nice.
Some of them even have like little locks.
Little baby
that
lockers.
you can,
Like
so,
if you wanted to put your phone in, you could.
Like SheiKra had them.
Yeah.
You could confidently put your phone
into it.
into it.
And I think if parks started providing more stuff like that, there'd be less problems with people on rides having their phones out and things like that. So I don't know.
I think that you're probably right about that.
It's revenue building, but it's also really annoying.
Yeah, and if people encounter enough inconveniences at a place, they won't go back to it.
Yeah.
Now, but that being said, this is the conclusion of the rides vlog. Make sure you check out the animal vlog that we're going to post as well. We had a great time. I really encourage you to come down here and aid this.
There's a lot. I mean, we did not show you guys nearly everything.
No, there's a lot
to do.
I'd encourage you to get on YouTube and type in Busch Gardens Tampa walkthrough.
and just follow somebody around the park, you'll see.
We showed you the vast majority of it, but there's some stuff that we just didn't get to.
And as we made mention earlier in this vlog, we know that you don't want a 2-hour vlog.
Right.
And I get that. I don't want them either. So anyways, we hope that you enjoyed it. Make sure you click that subscribe button. Again, you can follow us on Instagram and on Instagram at Off the Tracks Reviews and Snapchat at Off the Tracks Rev. That's REV. We hope you had fun. We'll see you.
Subscribe.
We'll see you subscribe. And if you subscribe, we'll see you at SeaWorld.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.